episode 337 out here. Let's get right into it, man. The Faison View podcast, man. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. All right. Thank you for all the subscribers along this journey. Hey, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Tune in, man. Faison View podcast family over here. Man, we got a lot to unpack today, y'all. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. For real. Come on now. We got to talk about Carlee Russell. Lord have mercy. We got to talk about sad news as well, too. We're going to discuss that later. All right. And they Cloned Tyrone, the new Netflix movie. All right. A real good watch. A lot of imagery, a lot of messages. I'm definitely going to delve into that one. All right. One of the best movies I saw in a minute. All right. Then, question of the day. All right. Would you go out with your friends, all right, for a birthday and split the bill? All right. The lady goes viral for really asking friends to split a $4,800 bill. You thought I'm gonna pick out? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna get right to it. Then, of course, we got to talk about Carlee Russell. All right. Did she fake an abduction? Is this real? Another hoax? Another Jussie Smollett? We're gonna talk about it. All right, and then an infamous would you rather? Would you rather? All right, work on building your confidence or your resilience? All right, that's a good question. All right, so let's get right into it, man. Right into it. All right. First, I want to definitely start out in saying prayers and condolences to Gilly's family. To Cheese, unfortunately, had lost his life recently, and I'm gonna delve into it. But it was a triple shooting in Philadelphia around 8 o'clock now last week, and man, it just sad that first these things just keep happening in our community. That somehow, some way, we want to kill each other. We want to beef against each other. And then most of the times it just be about a street name that we don't own. And it's just so unfortunate that the lives are lost in this manner, and that we keep going against each other. And then now we see it impact somebody that really gave back to his community, talked to his community. You know what I'm saying? $1 million worth of game. Every single time you see Gilly and Wallow, they giving back in some way, especially to their people. So it's sad to actually see this happen to Philly's own. It can happen to anybody. I'm not saying that as well too, but it's just a sad day in Philly because, man, Gilly has gave back to so much in his community. And for it to turn this way, you never know. Like I just said, this can happen in general, but it's just sad because as a father, you never want to lose your son, especially lose your son in that way. And also, Mac and Cheese was like on his way up, doing this thing in rap. And what I took out of it and what I got mad at was people commenting instantly about, oh well, Gilly, you got 100 mil, or like pocket watching first of all, and then talking about circumstances within the family when his son is a grown man with a child as well too. So you telling me just because he is worth this much, he's up this much, that his son is grown too? They make their own decisions. So everybody just putting that weight on Gilly, and they talking about the contract, they talking about the sacrifice conversation. All these different conversations. Like let's give him our prayers and condolences. People go straight into the negative, and that's kind of the problem within our community and our society. Like people glorify being negative in these certain situations. Somebody lost their life, and he was not only just a son, he was a father too. We don't know what the circumstances was, but at the end of the day, he lost his life. So like for people to instantly and just recently, rest in peace, but just recently they just had the funeral, and people are talking about, oh yeah, well, in a box, it's a part of their religion, their tradition, they're Muslim. So it's just like, y'all, I would hate to be a celebrity in certain times like this, I can understand it, because it's like it just like how much is outpouring love and positive sides, it's negative sides too. You can hear it if you want, hear it if you don't want to, but it's still that part of things. I can understand how that could be annoying, because I just lost my son. I don't want to hear you know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely like just praying for him. And then it was good to see that they took a picture with all the Philly brothers and stuff. But you can just see Gilly face. He's torn inside. His brother, and I'm sure all their family is just torn inside. I'm just tired of hearing these situations, and unfortunately we know this is not the last of these type of situations. But it's just like I just think it's most respectful and appropriate in certain times. We just not bash and just overthink and just spectate about what's going on and how this happened. Just send our love and prayers and respect. And if you don't, you know what I'm saying, like, just gracefully bow out. Because a lot of these situations, man, it's real life. And then it only hits you when certain things happen. But you got a lot of people just thinking straight negative, and I think it's just weird, in my opinion, because this man lost his life at the end of the day, and you have a father, you have a family around him that speak game and preach game into all these people. Yes, of course, like I just said, his son has lived his own life too. He has his own responsibilities. He's accountable for himself as well too. But Gilly has poured game into his sons and really built an empire and helped them build their empire too, as they branched off and became very good rappers. You know what I'm saying? Making their way up. So I just feel like, man, we just need to really just pray for Gilly, man, because this messed me up. This messed me up, because I was just like, God dang. Every time you look up, and especially in our community, you look up, it's another one gone. To similar things. But much prayers to $1 million worth of game, Gilly and Wallow, because for real, I watch them daily. They've been an inspiration to me, not just in the podcast world, just in regards to the game they give. You know what I'm saying? Looking out for the youth. You feel me? That goes a long way, and they're constantly with that same message. So yeah, that's why it hurts, when this really happened. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. They cloned Tyrone. Man, amazing film. I ain't gonna hold you. Amazing film. With so much imagery, with many symbolism. It just, man, it displays symbolism. All right. I talked about so much, like, in regards to this. I talked about this for a good minute, but this just stunned me. Like, this movie just stunned me. I'm gonna be real with you. They Cloned Tyrone just stunned me all break. All right, the new Netflix movie displays symbolism of how the black community and the program and its program, from the food we eat, from the drugs, from the hair products, from church, from violence, from the music frequencies. Like, I have these conversations often with a certain amount of my friends, but like, when you actually see it in film, it hits a different way. And they always show, and I've always spoke about this, in movies they show a message, and the message is not hidden. It's just, if you really want to tap into what they're saying, because a lot of these times these movies are real life in many ways, and they're trying to show you what's really going on. So they Cloned Tyrone was, first off, amazing acting, top tier. Like, from and you have 3 different parts of it. So basically, then in the black community, all right, more so like the projects, and you have one character who's the pimp. You have the pimp. You have the drug dealer. You had a hoe. So you have all the negative pillars in our black community that we glorify so much is what's controlling our community. So with the Cloned Tyrone movie, they're basically showing that these 3 things are destroying our community, and that's what systematically they want for us. They want to destroy our community. and it shows it through a certain lens. It shows it through food and what they put in our food, and it shows it through music frequency. When we listening to music, when it's at a high frequency, people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's a different type of frequency. It's just programming at all different type of facets. And then to like we saying to drugs, but the things they put in hair projects. All right, straighter is greater. They put these certain messages in our hair salons, in our community, from the church, from where the church is, next to the liquor store, with the church is like operating on in regards to trying to get a certain funding to really go further and not be next to the liquor store. All these things are put there on purpose. It's all systematic. It's all there for a reason. To the violence. All right, and that's why you have somebody like the drug dealer, because when you have drug dealers and when you have drugs involved in something, violence is going to come with that. Because at the end of the day, somebody or someone is going to argue about territory or product, certain things of that nature. Then you got the pimp, and you got the pimp, and then you got the hoe. So you got prostitution in regards to what's going on in the community. That's degrading our women in a certain magnitude. Then you got pimps, also degrading women in a certain sense. So it's all within the community, mixed in the community, that's making it bad. So they talk about all these things. With the food, it got me because I'm thinking about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. We over there about to kill each other over the chicken sandwich. And you got to see it in a certain lens, like, dang, like we was really going crazy. And what of course is the craziest thing is just like seeing certain clone activity. But I'm one of those people, I've always believed in that. But when you see it in firsthand and you see it in movies, and especially you see it in the community that I am in and our people are in, yeah, it hits a certain nerve. It hits a certain nerve, but it's also one of those things like as a community, we have to wake up. Because this is how society sees us in certain magnitudes. And that's just real. That's just real. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about as well, it's just like the Jamie Foxx situation. And like, I'm glad Jamie Foxx is good. But it's like I always think about certain imagery as well too. And it's just so cryptic that the situation that he's going through with his health, and much praise to him and his family, but because Jamie Foxx is a legend icon, and this is another reason why. But also, it was certain imagery that was just like, are they trying to tell us something in our face that actually is going on? Because when Jamie Foxx got ill and got sick, we didn't have no clue, but it was in the filming of this movie, so it raises some eyebrows as well too, based off what the movie is about. And it's like that. What I get out of it is that it's so much imagery that they put in our face, and we just choose to ignore it, just choose it to look at it as comedy. Yo, we gotta pay attention. We gotta pay attention. And that's kind of what's going on with the industry in general. The industry in general. It's a lot of foul play things going on. Like in the movie, it was like underground labs. One of the things that really got me was that the underground labs was under the church, and it was like one of the most powerful safe places that you're supposed to be. Is that now you have a whole operation going on under the church that work within and counterparts of the church, making sure certain things go a certain way. So and also it's so much programming, because in a sense it's like they could clone a person and essentially tell them what to say to us, or make us think a certain way about stuff. So this movie is just like so much truth hidden in plain sight. Really, for real. And then it's just like being mindful of course always, but being mindful who's watching you. That's really, it's just like who's really watching you. And man, this imagery, man, look, this joint took me by storm, because it's like it's so much going on within the world we live in right now, just information wise. If you just turn a blind eye, then you will never catch what's really going on in the real on this side of things. And that's just real talk. That's just how I understand and see it now too. And I just feel like when these things or when these movies or type of movies come out, I really think it's an educational piece. You really have to really tune in to have understanding of what you really are learning right now, what you're experiencing by watching this. So I definitely recommend, if you haven't watched They Cloned Tyrone, make sure you watch that. All right, make sure you watch that. All right, let's get into the fun portion of the pod. All right, so say you go out with your friends. All right, it's somebody's birthday. I'll be splitting the bill. So for a birthday dinner, I'll be splitting the bill. All right, this lady goes viral for asking friends to split a $4,800 bill. My opinion, I just feel like that's inconsiderate. I feel like it depends on the location. It depends on the group of friends, because you got to just be mindful of the group of friends are, first of all. And honestly, I feel like it's certain things that should be talked about before going into this if we thinking about just spending $4,800. Because in my view of the video and how it went, the birthday girl and this lady, I feel like she was just trying to run up the tab. And it's like, okay, well, we all splitting the bill, so I'm not really tripping about it. But also, you got to consider everybody else in that situation. Me, I'm just gonna be like, all right, well, I'm gonna pick out what I bought, and I'll pay for something on the birthday person's tab. That's how I'm gonna go about it. If we're about to split, we know beforehand, then that's cool. We have an understanding. We know the breakdown. All right, that's cool. But if we go into it and just like, all right, now we just splitting the bill. Everybody get a portion. I'm not paying for nobody else's meal except for the birthday person and myself. That's how I feel about it. That's how I look at it. I don't know how anybody else look at it, because I'm not paying with like $4,800 and you split that, and I don't think it was just like 4 or 5 of them. It was something around that amount, but it's still just, that could be inconsiderate to somebody that maybe, guess what, they probably don't have it. They probably just had enough, and that's one thing too. That's one thing too. If you're going out to eat, be sure that you're financially good to pay for real and have money with, on you. But I don't think a lot of people go out with the expectation they're going to split a bill and pay, $300 to $400 for a meal, and a lot of these things that they didn't contribute to or get. So like, it just depends on the people that you with. Cause say if it's a group, y'all do this, or y'all have a little, a thing going on with somebody pay for the drinks and somebody do this, somebody do that. That's cool. But if you're going in a situation blind, me personally, I'm paying for what I got in the birthday person's bill. Like, or either pay the full thing or pay half of what they got. Somebody else pay half with it. It don't matter. But I'm definitely not like into just like, oh yeah, let me just split this whole bill with everybody. For real. Like, if I know the people, I know the group I'm with, then it's cool, like I said. But y'all let me know. Alright? When you going out with friends for a birthday, are you splitting in the bill? Alright? Would you split the bill amongst the whole party? Okay? Or would you just take your portion and pay for your side, or pay for whatever you bought? Alright, y'all let me know. Alright? Alright, man. It's time. Carly Russell, man. Carly Russell. Come on now. What in the Jussie Smollett is going on? For real. For what? Attention, guys, is a drug. It is worse than any drug, especially in today's era. It's worse than any drug, because you got people worried about you. They're going there praying for you. You got everybody in the world on hold. And especially because it had something to do with an abduction, it had something to do with a baby. And then just the story was just it was a very wild story, but it was believable because it's a lot of these things are actually really going on in the world. So when you fake an abduction, these things that are real life going on in the world. So say if somebody else was to bring this to the face front, or like bring this up, and what's the likelihood they would get believed, or you know what I'm saying, people would believe in them. Attention is a drug, bruh. What are you doing, ma'am? For real, what are you doing? And it was funny because it sounded like one of the Kevin Hart specials, and it was a Debra and the baby, it was like, and then when they research, and that's why I always say, your phones, all this stuff can be traced. You got cameras, so the camera seeing you tripping out on the side of the road. Then also your phone, you put it in the search engine, taken to, how do I call for an Amber Alert? Bruh. Oh my goodness, bruh. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. Her search history from that day really was trending on Twitter. As soon as I seen that, I said it's up. It's up. It's over. It's over. Ain't no way you sitting here lying about something so serious. And it's so crazy because you got young women and young men that are going through these things in real world, real time. Like real world, real time. Then you categorizing then to the black woman, to the young black woman that's getting trafficked. Like, these things really happen. So you thinking it's a game and get abducted. And then you brought a baby into the situation and you just lied about the whole situation for no reason. For what? For clickbait, just so you can get your name and lights? iCarly, you are bugging. You're bugging. Then the boyfriend came out. It's not. I look here. I understand you ride or die for your girl, understandably. But in this situation, I'll sit this one out. Cause I'm not gonna lie. If I'm with her, most likely we're not gonna be together. Cause you sat here and lied about abduction. Like, we worried about you, ready to die about you. And you sitting here lying and making it as a hoax, trying to get attention, trying to go viral. Like, it's sick out here nowadays because negative attention is daggone near is the same as, I mean, look, what's it called? Negative and bad publicity is the same as good publicity, because it's publicity and you still going viral. You still getting your name in these lights, just like I'm talking about you. But it's messed up. It's messed up because when these things really happen, now people will be like, nah, she I don't know about it. It's a fake. It's a hoax. Like, it's hard to believe certain things now. And this is a very serious situation. So, man, tripping, bro, tripping. I definitely really thought this was a real thing going on. It seemed very believable at first, because a lot of people assumed it was talking about how the person that abducted her possibly used the baby for, just a tactic, as a prompt to really lure her in. And you over here playing a serious, dangerous game. And, like, honestly, the real question is just like, I don't think that it's right to just put jail time on anybody or just say somebody should get charged. But I don't know. Like, that's a good question. Should you be charged for a hoax or a fake? Like a stunt like this? And I might agree. You might need to be. Because, you know what I'm saying? You got people that's really, like, really ride or die, ready to die for you. You got this story out. And, like, what? For what? For what? And that's would be the real question. For what? But we know attention. That's really what it come down to. That's the sick part. That's the sick part. So y'all let me know. Like, do you think it should be a charge if you fake or do a hoax like this, or just in general? Do you think that should be a charge? Because faking an abduction is crazy. And then putting it in the search engine, taken. Son. Hey, go ahead. Hey, go ahead. For real. All right, lastly, the infamous would you rather. All right, listen up. Would you rather work on building your confidence or your resilience? Would you rather work on building your confidence or your resilience? Oh, man. Tough question. I would say my resilience. The resilience to keep going, to keep staying on track on whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm going through. Like, man, because you're going to have trials and tribulations in your life. It's going to be tough times. It's not going to always be good. But at the end of the day, I just want to remain resilient enough to get through the tough times, because it's light at the end of the tunnel regardless of anything. You feel me? Like, at the end of the day, it's God's plan. If you continue to follow that, you straight. So I will definitely choose resilience. Like, the willing to not give up, the willing to keep going. For real, for real. I'm not going to let anything stop me, no matter what the hurdle is. You're going to have good and bad days. It ain't life without experiences. So I would definitely choose resilience. In confidence, I feel like building my confidence, I feel like I'm definitely confident enough, but you can always build confidence, because there's certain things that I'm not all the way confident in regards to, like, you know how I'm like extroverted, outspoken, but I'm not the biggest fan of public speaking. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to improve at. So building confidence in certain areas is good too. But I'll be resilient at the end of the day. The willing to keep going no matter what. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. I'll definitely say that. So y'all let me know, would you rather work on building your confidence or your resilience? All right, for sure. You already know the Faison podcast, Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Much love. You already know, tune in. And you can follow at the Faison podcast on all media platforms. Yes, sir.